All right, so here we have a approximately mid-50s gentleman who has a family history of migraines through his mother and has had some stressful jobs in the past, and one of them in 2010 really seemed to set off some severe migraines, and we ended up getting an MRI which looked normal. He tried lots of things that weren't very helpful. So tell us, what the headaches were like and what, how often you were having them and things of that nature.
The headaches would generally come on daily, I would say 3-4 times a week, generally mid-morning, 10 o'clock or so, and despite the addition of aspirin, etc., would remain primarily until 9-10 o'clock that evening, until it would finally decide to dissipate, and I'd start the process all over again sometimes the next day.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get flashing lights or any of those type of things?
Generally not. I don't recall anything like that, no.
And can you show us where the headaches were?
Primarily around the back,
Right.
all the way around circumference the back of my head and that, down a little lower, sometimes toward the top, but ordinarily once in a while I'd get one across the front too.
And when you would have these, was it difficult to concentrate and be at work?
Extremely so.
Mm-hmm. And so when you had it at work, you actually missed some work sometimes?
I would sometimes have to leave late afternoon in
Yeah.
order to, just because the concentration was completely gone. I was focusing completely on the headache and wanting it desperately to leave.
Was it kind of pounding in nature?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Would you rate it, people give you those 1 to 10 ratings, what would you call it?
On one of these, I would say it was about an 8.
Yeah. So, and how about, would you prefer to be in a dark room or a lighted room? Did that make a difference?
A dark room seemed to make more of a difference, only because usually in a dark room there's less activity probably.
Yeah. Well, that's not an uncommon story that people like to turn the lights out with these. And would you fall asleep? Was that a helpful thing if you were to fall asleep and then wake up? Would the headache be gone, or would it still with you?
Usually found it impossible to fall asleep with one of these headaches.
Really?
Usually couldn't. I would try and lay back on the couch or the comfy chair, and it just no. Okay. It wouldn't let me shut down.
So kind of an important event in your life was on the 23rd of January 2012. I had at that time some experience with migraine patients, and I knew where to inject them. And you happened to be in the office, and I said, let's give it a go. And you were having a headache that day, so it was good timing. And we were able to relieve the headache, I believe, while you were here.
Yes.
And then we went a couple of months, and you didn't really have much in between. You were doing much better. But I said, let's do one more treatment. So in March of 2012, we treated again. And what has been your experience with these headaches since then? I
have probably gotten 0 headaches of that magnitude since that time. And I have been in the same situations that previously would have probably triggered that type of headache, but I haven't experienced any since that time.
This is why we are doing these not experiments. We are doing studies, and hopefully someday this will be available to other patients with migraines. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.